Good morning. So today we're going to talk about Milarepa's teaching. Particularly, I think they use a title as a woman's role in the Buddhism. This is particular related to the one female disciple of the Milarepa. How she deal and how she, connected to the Milarepa. Before that, maybe we'll go through a little bit about the Milarepa's life story. I think most of you know who Milarepa was, but one of the this life story was authored by called the Zangnyun Hiruka. He was actually reincarnation the Rechumba, the second heart disciple of Milarepa. And he put together all the 100,000 song and life story. But this life story, actually Milarepa's life story itself is a Milarepa taught. So later, it's not like earlier. Later, when Milarepa was in Nyana Drapapu, one of the West Tibet, there's one famous cave. In there, and many disciples, all the senior disciples, including the Rechumba, and also non-human disciple like 5 sisters, and many of them at that time staying in that area, in that cave. Milarepa stay in that cave, and Rechumba also stay in his own meditation hut. And one morning, Rechumba had a dream. In the dream, he was a place that called the Udiyana, Udiyana. He was kind of Udiyana place. And really beautiful land and kind of what call that? Peaceful, beautiful, elegant land. And there's a big city. And all the people in that city are very adorned with a great, the garment, very nice dress, and wearing the bond and a jewel ornament, beautiful looking, really elegant and beautiful looking. And everyone is not saying any word to the Rechumba, but everyone smiling to him, kind of greeting to him. Then when he was walking through the town, and he saw there's one Nepali female practitioner. She was also one of the Rechumba's guru called the Tibupa. When he went to India, he received those teachings, including the called the bodiless Dakinis, remaining of the bodiless Dakinis teaching. He received from the Tibupa. So Tibupa's one disciple, female, she was also there in that. Then she also kind of like one of those principal, main character, main person in that community, like one of those. And she said, oh, my nephew comes, like spiritually, Rechumba was her nephew because she was more senior, like she is kind of an aunt, So she called him like my nephew come, welcome. And today here, great palace, Buddha Akshobhya will give teachings. And she said, I'll go to Buddha to permission to, you can come to receive teachings. Then she went and she come back. When she come back, and she said, Buddha granted permission to, you can receive the teachings. Now you should come. And then she went to the, receive blessing from the Buddha and sit next to Buddha, just close to the Buddha. And Buddha was giving teaching was all about the life story of a Buddha and Bodhisattva, including Tilupa, Naropa, Marpa, all their story that Rejumba already heard from Milarepa or the Tilupa Naropa, but more detailed than actually he heard from Milarepa, and the Buddha taught. And the Buddha said, tomorrow I'm going to give a very special teaching of the life story about, it's called the Milarepa, extraordinary, much more kind of like a, what called that? No, much more profound than all the story at all, more special than all this story, and everybody is talking about those, everybody is talking about, as I said, oh, maybe Milarepa is in the Pure Land of the Sambo, actually be a Pure Land, maybe someone Buddha in the, or kind of like someone who in the Sukhavati Pure Land, someone, that is really special Bodhisattva's life story, going to give teachings. So Rejumba thought, they look down on us. Milarepa, my guru is actually in Tibet, but still they think that he is not, in Tibet. He is not somewhere in the Pure Land. They kind of looking down on us. He first thought that way. Then second thought, he said, I am the stupid one. But I was thinking, I think my guru as a human being. My guru is not human being. He is a truly Buddha. He should be everywhere, every Pure Land. His manifestation is everywhere. He's not a human, ordinary human, just only born in Tibet or something. So he was reconstructing his own thought on his guru, before he think his guru as a one human being. But then suddenly he realized his guru is a Dharmakaya, can be manifest everywhere. So then at that time he thought, they all think it this way, but they don't know where is the Milarepa. Maybe they hinting on me that, then they said, they said, who could request this teaching, to the Buddha? Who could request? And some said, maybe such. Some said, should be one of his main disciples should be request these teachings. And Rejumba realizing, they hinting on me. I should request these teachings. Then that lady from Nepal, she said, my dear, you understood. So she kind of like touched on him, squeezed his hand, said, you understood. When he was thinking that way, then he wake up. So when he wake up, then he went to see the Milarepa. At that time, those guru-disciple relationship was so close they are, every day, whenever they have any kind of like, they always go to see Guru every morning, ask the Guru how he feel, and go to see. That's what they do. Then whatever need to do, they do. So Rejumba went, and all the disciples gather from the Milarepa. Then Rejumba requests to Milarepa's life story. And Milarepa said, you know me most, Rejumba, because Rejumba, since he's a little boy, he raised by Milarepa. One of the earliest disciple and the longest disciple in Rejumba spent with Milarepa. So Milarepa said, you know me more than anyone else. You basically know everything about my life story. But since you asked, I will give you the answer. So Milarepa said, I had a hardship childhood. I was born to the good family, but I have a hardship childhood. Then I did lots of bad things. Then because of that bad things, then I received I searched for the guru. Then I found a really wonderful guru. Then I went to, after the receiving the instruction, I went to many, hardship meditation. So he said that one. Then Rejumba request to the Milarepa, please, what call it? It's a detail. Explain the detail about his life story. So then Milarepa explained on, where his family was actually from kind of like a more like a where like a central Tibet, kind of northern from the like a last Samye, there's Urujangcho, like near, I think Dikung, maybe from the behind the Dikung, there's have a enormous, I think from that area somewhere, his family. But because they have a problem, have a financial problem, whatever, then his grandparent moved to the West Tibet. Then because the grandparent know the ritual, great, they are tantric practitioner, great tantric practitioner, know lots of ritual. So many people request them to ritual, and they become a kind of well-knowing ritual practitioner. So then they also, with the well-knowingly, and they wealth also, build really good, and at that time, some of his relative also moved to West Tibet, where Milarepa's grandparent live. Some relative moved, his uncle and aunt and their family moved also there. So then Milarepa's actually father was mainly businessman. He started business. Yeah. Huh?
Natural voice sounds better than a really small group.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
So well.
Okay. So yeah. So Milarepa's okay. This no need. Milarepa's father was a kind of businessman, and he but unfortunately, Milarepa's father died young age. Like I think Milarepa maybe like a really teenager, young age, and his father died because of the Milarepa is not yet grow up. So his father requests to his uncle and aunt to look after the family, including his business. But then unfortunately, uncle and aunt, or fortunately, either way, uncle and aunt took over all the business, and not just only took over all the business, name of the taking care, make his mother, his sister in him kind of like a slave, use as a, here working, So when Milarepa turned to, I think maybe 16 or maybe 17 or 18 at that time, then his mother said, he invited all the important that like what called elderly, the towns elderly, can say elderly, yeah, people, and she had kind of a festival to them, a party, and she read her husband's will, and in the well, he said, until my son is, turned to the 18 or whatever, I mean, turned to the mature enough, uncle and aunt look after the wealth. But when he turned to the kind of like a, adult, then please give him back to all the business. And then he married to the Zese, one of those like arranged marriage earlier. So then when uncle and aunt came on the party, and they said, what are you talking about? This wealth doesn't belong to us, our family's wealth. We just lent to him when he was young, and he did business because we lent to him. Now he returned to us, which is belong, and you have your witness that this what called the paper is legitimate. So then, because of the uncle and aunt have a lot of adult, like boys, many men, and Milarepa's mom have only Milarepa. He was just one boy. So that way she couldn't fight with them, So they said, if you not agree with us, then if you are you have enough human being and bring to the war. If you don't have enough human being, bring to the magic. Otherwise, we're not going to give you the wealth. So she got that idea, the saying to Milarepa, learn to the black magic. She said, I cannot fight with them. They have too many men in their family. There's no way I can fight with them. But I want to send my son to learn the black magic. So that is how Milarepa mom sent him to learn black magic. When he turned to around 18. But also the black magic teacher, he wasn't teaching really, kind of a real one, those kids who come to learn, and he just gives some trick and send them away, and including Milarepa, but Milarepa doesn't want to go. And he said, if I go this way without learning any magic, my mom will die in front of me. I can afford to go back. You teach me, or, I my mom will kill herself. One of those could happen. So then the teacher sent to his student, checking his life story is real or not. Then when he went, that one disciple, the teacher's disciple, went to the Milarepa's hometown, and the disciple said, Master, this is really true. His life story is really, really bad. There's so much suffering with his family and everyone, so much going on. You must teach to him. Then he started teaching actually black magic. So then black magic teach, and Milarepa was doing retreat, build special retreat cape, and said, you do retreat in this cape. Then then there's some sign came to the Milarepa when he was doing retreat. Then at that time, one of his uncle, so one of son getting married, they ready for the marriage ceremony, and lots of guests come, and uncle and aunt was kind of discussing about the ceremony outside of the house. They're talking, and when they're talking, and through the black magic, horse feel like a scorpion. Yes, scorpion try to eat them. So they running and kicking each other. Horse try to kick the scorpion. They thought they kick into the scorpion. Because of the black magic, they see that one. And actually horse kicking each other, then they kick to the pillar, the house. When they kick to the pillar of the house, whole house collapse. When the house collapsed, 30-some died, 30-some people in the house, including his son, the daughter-in-law, and many people died, uncles. So then at that time, and Milarepa also see the deity that bring it to the head of those. They're so kind of like this. Then his guru came and said, you should be rejoice. I think there's a great sign came on through your magic. Then the people learn, the town people learn, oh, this is a black magic by the Milarepa. Then everybody is talking about, Then all the relative of the uncle and aunt, they said, we're going to kill the mom and sister. And when he come back, we will kill him too. So they talking about, then she make the rumor. She make fake letter, in the Milarepa's mother. She make the fake letter. She said, oh, Milarepa sent me this letter. She wrote herself, send me this letter. And it's in the letter said, oh, mom, how are you doing? I'm doing wonderful here. I have a many disciple. I'm living really luxury life. And I have a great wealth. If you want, you and your daughter my sister should move here. But also meantime, I did this black magic. If anyone is giving you hard time, anybody try to threaten you, just send me the name and the age. I will destroy it for them, forever. So she made the rumor kind of the letter, and she gave to the relative, show the relative, some close relative, and they threw that to that letter is gone through the old town people. She made that way, Then people got scared. Then they canceled the plan of the destroying the her and his sister, mom and sister. But then she really want to still more. So she said, please bring me the hail. Yeah. So then Milarepa, he got the request, and his guru sent to someone else to learn that hail, because that there's a master specialized on that. So Milarepa learned that one and went and destroy all the field on that year, completely. So and when that he destroyed that field, hold that field, and then many animal died also because of the water. Many animal died. So he was feel really sad and regret and kind of like guilty of harming many sentient beings. So he had a strong renunciation. He was thinking about a lot about the Dharma. And same time, around that time, one of his guru's main provider, guru's main provider, like sponsor, died. And Guru went to do puja, and then a few days later, he came back with said, the Guru. And then Milarepa said, Master, what happened? And said, oh, one of my close disciple died. He was really helpful for me. And Milarepa said, but you know how to liberate them. And I don't think so. It's a big deal. The master said, yeah, I know the ritual, I know the method, but it's not real. Like how to liberate. Then and the master said, I think he was really deeply renounced. And he said, now I think I should go to the Dharma, search the true Dharma to can liberate, and you take care of my disciple. Then Milarepa got a good idea, said, Master, you're too old to go like that. It's not good. I'm young. I will go for us to search the Dharma. So you give me the permission. So then Master said, yeah, that's true. You are young. You're really determined, really perseverance practitioner. You can be really a great accomplishing practitioner, can become a Dharma practitioner. So you should go. I will provide for you all the necessary food and clothes. So his guru gave him food, clothes, everything, and sent him to the learning. So like about the 15, I think maybe about the 15 years, he was searching Dharma. He met many teachers, like about 10, 12 of them. Actually, he met. So most of the time, everybody talking about the greatness of their lineage, and some of one of them said, this teachings is if you meditate a day, you can become Buddha daytime. If you meditate at night, then you become a Buddha that night. But a special disciple, especially connected one, even without the meditation, can liberate it. So Milarepa thought, oh, I may be special one, because otherwise I'm not going to have chance to meet with this great teacher. So he just sleeping, just receive teaching. He was like us, I think, just eating and sleeping, just doing that much, So then after the few days, his guru came, how's your progress in the practice? And said, there are not much. The guru said, I think that is true. You told me at the beginning you are really, really sinful person. I think you are one of the sinful person. There's no way I can liberate you. I think there's one master, new tantra teacher, called the Marba, I heard. I think he had special connection to you, and he, I think, can liberate you. Then when Milarepa heard his Marba's name, immediately changed his all the feeling, everything, so this kind of like a feel like something that deeply in him, kind of like a become different person, devotion, all is become really specially connected. Some kind of like sometimes you have a feeling but you cannot express, and all these lives, all those matter is totally forgot. totally forgot all this matter of this life and just wishing to see this guru, suddenly. Then Milarepa went to search the Marba. Then he was asking people, I heard there's a great translator, Marba, Master Marba, where is he? Nobody knows. That times a great teacher look like that. Even the town people, they don't know great translator, teacher, master, Marba. Everybody know Marba, but nobody know that he was great teacher. He is great teacher. He was great, master. So maybe they don't have a good, at that time there's no good,
publicity.
Publicity. Yeah, social media,
Facebook.
Meetup.
Publisher.
Publicity.
No, somebody make that like a
Publisher, publishing.
A publishing house.
no, somebody somebody making those advertisement and those
Marketing person.
advertiser. Yeah, so like somebody, these days most of this have all the teacher have the secretary. They make those all big, like everything is really important. Make sense? Larger than life. Everybody make the larger than life through the publisher. Publish, not publish.
Media representative.
Yeah, publicity, through the publicity. I think that time those master, authentic, good master, they don't do that one. So they keep really humble, kind of a most like secret, So they actually basically nobody knows who's the Marba. Then he asked a few kids there, taking care of the animal. In Tibet, earlier there's no school or anything. So most of kids' job is to take care of the animal. Go out, take care of the animal. That's what I did also when I was a kid, So that's our job actually. Daily job is to just take care of the animals. Go to after the sheep, cow, or those whatever animal and family have, we just take care. Mostly is a kid take care. So there are a bunch of kids also taking care of the animal. And from that kid, there's one boy said, maybe you're talking about my father. He go to India and bring lots of small texts, like kind of really small, long texts. And I think maybe you're talking about my father. His name is Marba also. So then kid said, I think you just go continually on this road. Normally, he never go work. He never work. But today, somehow he want to work. He's working in the field with the yak, what called the plowing the field. He never done that one, but today he's doing that one. So, but then the night before he had a dream. His wife had a dream, so really special dream, and his dream. I think one of the dream was a. Naroba gave him a golden vajra with a rusted, or a vajra, and to the Marba, clean this one and put on the shrine. Then also his wife had some special dream, and she shared to him. He said, "Just dream. There's nothing." And he said, okay, I have to go to field of farm and arrange for me the food and drink. So she packed him the alcohol, that Tibetan chang. And he said, okay, this is for me. Where's my gas chang? So she packed two bottles. So he hid one is under his cap. Then he was kind of working, but looking, like as when we waiting someone, he just look, so he was looking like that. And then suddenly that came, and Milarepa came. And then Milarepa came, and Marba looked and from the toe to head and said, and Milarepa asked him actually, where's the great Lord translator Marba? And Marba looked at him from the feet to head. He said, who you are, where you want him? And he said, oh, came from the West Tibet. I'm really done lots of bad things in this life. I really want to see him and I want to receive teaching. Otherwise, I have no hope for next life. It will be go to, be really bad rebirth. And Marva said, okay, you do my job, this and drink this alcohol, and I will meet you him, and you come. So Marva left, and Milarepa was doing the work, and he doing all the beer completely, and then the boy came. Earlier he met the boy came and said, okay, Marva asked you to come. Then said, Milarepa said, oh, that's so wonderful. This guy is really wonderful. He, did fulfill my wish that introduced me to Marva. I should finish his work too. So he finished all the rest of the field, plowing, did finish. Then he went. And when he went in the room, and Marva was sitting on the throne, kind of small throne, then Milarepa looked around. Only that guy walking on the field was there. Other than nobody is there. So Marva said, do prostration. I know you understand. You don't think me as a good. I'm the Marva. Then he immediately did prostration and said to the Marva, I am going to offer my body, speech, mind, and please take care of me, wealth, food, and dharma. I mean, the roof, food, and dharma, So then and Marva said, this is really good you're offering to the Guru body, speech, mind, but I cannot take care of you all three. You choose one. I take care of one, roof, food, or dharma. One of those I will take care of you. Rest, two, you have to manage yourself. If you want a roof from me, then I will give you the provider of roof, but you have to find the food and dharma from somewhere else. So Milarepa said, then please take care of me, given the dharma, I will take care of myself, roof and food. So that way he went to begging food. And then he got like bunch of barley, and he bring that and he put on the ground, and Marva said, I haven't took any of your family belongings, wealth. Why you want to try to kill me? By putting that, the bags, because he was a really strong man. Milarepa was a really strong man. He put that bag down on the ground like a job, not carefully. So Marva said, kind of from there to he already poking on the Milarepa. And Marva said, I think you are really good, strong man. I will give you slowly dharma, but first I need to do something. You should do that one for me. So he asked to build the house. His idea, Marva really want to do is build his son one palace that he want to build that, but the land is a kind of a really kind of legal battle between the family. Everybody fighting for that particular land. So that way, Marva didn't build from there. He said, okay, I want to build there one house. So Milarepa is working on that house. And when it come to the little while, and Marva said, what you are doing here? And Milarepa said, you asked me to build this house. I said, Marva said, I don't remember any of those, Why are you doing that one? Just destroy them and take away all the stone, wherever it come from, move. So he did like 3 times. And third time he want to build that house there, that now the temple is still there. Sekagudo, the Milarepa built. Temple is still there. And it said, and Milarepa said, please, this time I need a witness. Otherwise, every time I build your house, then later you accuse me, and please, I want a witness. And his consort, Tamema, and said, Mother, can you be my witness? And Tamema said, yeah, I can be your witness, but it doesn't matter. Whatever I say, he not going to listen, So it's no point to have witness, because when he said no, that means the no, even, so this not really helpful being my witness because it's not going to count. But I just, but I can be witness. But so during those time, and he went through so much hardship. It's not that many years, only a few years actually work. And and he started building that fourth one. And when he get to the bottom, the foundation was building, and some of Marba's senior disciple came to receive teachings. And they're walking around and they saw one big rock from the hill, and they rolled down to the help to Milarepa. So then Milarepa put on the foundation, that rock, big one is put on the foundation, and they built it like a second floor. I think at the second floor, one day Marba came, looking around and said, "Where you got this rock?" Pointed that rock, particular one. So Milarepa said, "Oh, those your disciples, they helped me to bring to here. They bought here, so I put this here." And Marba said, "You try to make slave to those like a disciple, like a lion, how dare you make them to work? They are a great practitioner. How dare you to make them to work? Remove this immediately." So he tear down all the wall until to that rock and remove. Then Marba said, "Now you can put back." So that is how he did. And he I think he had like 2-3 times hold in the back. Normally animal get when they walk so much, hole, wound, because run out that skin.
Sores, a blister.
Not blister. It's because you carry on so many things that skin run out. It's not just like a kind of blister. Skin kind of like a scrape up slowly. When people animal carrying so much in the back, so many days work, it happened to them. So then Marba said, "Oh, when animal this happened, this is helpful." He made the cloth kind of like a patch round, and you can put this way. And also you can carry in the front. When you have a bag hurt, just carry on the front, the rock and mud, everything. So Milarepa was working at the like that. And Marba's wife couldn't take. She was so compassionate to Milarepa. She became so close to the Milarepa like her son, so care. And one day she had a really nice chocolate necklet, and she gave to the Milarepa, said, "Okay, today you go to offering this master and receive teachings. I think there's some special teaching going on today." Because every time Milarepa comes, receive teaching, and Marba said, "Okay, what's your offering for receiving teaching?" And Milarepa said, "Oh, I build your house, this and that." And Marba said, "You just build me like a kind of like a, like a animal quarter, some small one. Can I give you those precious, priceless dharma to that small house? How dare you?" So he kicked him out every time like that. Then one day she said, "Okay, take this chocolate." And then Milarepa came to said, "Okay, today this is my offering." And Marba looked at chocolate. "Wow, this is a really good one. Where you get this one?" Of course, he cannot lie and said, "Mother gave me." And Marba called her, "Tamema, you married to me. So whatever belonged to you, this belong to me. How, you are really careless. You almost lost this priceless chocolate to someone stranger." So and Marba said to Milarepa, "If you have your own offering and you can come, this is my own wealth. How dare you offering this to me?" So kick him out again. So then she couldn't do. Then one day she made the fake letter. One of the Marba's senior disciple. His monastery is near airport, Lhasa airport. Near airport. Marba is a little bit more south, further south. So she bring to some Naroba's ornament and things, also a statue and like a stupa, give them secretly. She stole from the Marba's temple and made fake letter and pretend like that is sent from Marba. And she sent to Milarepa to the Ngok Chukudoji, one of the senior disciple of Marba. Then Ngok Chukudoji welcome him, specially coming those ornaments, Then he makes special welcome ceremony to the Milarepa. And because of the Marba's letter is there, he give teachings, all teachings. And after the teachings, many days, Milarepa meditating. And then Ngok Chukudoji one day came to the retreat camp, said, it should be you experience this. You have any kind of those experience? And Milarepa said, no, I don't. He haven't had anything. Then the Ngok Chukudoji said, in our lineage, with the Guru's blessings, must be this kind of experience. How come you don't have? Then, since you already have the Guru's permission, should be you have those experience? Then Milarepa was really insidely, he was kind of, really worried because he actually don't have a Guru's permission, yeah, and he fake and he couldn't say anything. But then that time he got Ngok Chukudoji got a letter from the Marba, said, now I have here special ceremony for my son, and you should come. And I think my really bad guy, that troublemaker, he's I think around at your place. Bring him to talk about the Milarepa. Then Ngok Chukudoji said, how come? Look like now Marba's, Guru's teach the later things. He doesn't know you are here. He didn't send you here. And then Milarepa couldn't lie anymore. So said, no, not from master. I sent by the mother. So then Ngok Chukudoji said, we wasted our time without the Guru's permission. Whatever we do, not going to benefit anything. So then he went to back. So he tried to run few times. Okay, every time he come back because the other reason, but we don't have time to talk. So then he come back. And that day, Milarepa wanted to kill himself because he knew he cannot get the teachings. Marba was really top on him, and Ngok Chukudoji come out and talking to the Milarepa, and then also Tamema came, and that day, then Marba said, today is Milarepa is the special guest for this recipe, this empowerment. He's the main guest, chief guest of the recipe empowerment. So Milarepa couldn't believe that it's a real. So he was pinching himself, it's real or not? I'm dreaming or what, So then he received teaching. And that time, Marba said, because of the Dhamma Master compassion, you didn't finish the 9th storage. If you finish the 9th storage of the house, you will reach to the rainbow body with this life. Because of the Dhamma Master compassion, he only did until like 8th floor. Rest is other people build, top one. So that way you're not going to reach to this rainbow body. But then Milarepa said, Marba gave him teaching all the instruction. So I think like that, maybe 6 or 7 years with the Milarepa. So when Milarepa meet with the Marba, I think Marba was already like 70 or some years. Milarepa was 40 some years old. So then one day he had a dream about his family, mom, all this reality. And I went to Marba, said, I need to go back to home. Please give me the permission. And Marba said, I think this time you go, then you're not going to see me again. So Marba gave all the instruction and give some special teaching on the paper, said, in the future, when you have a sudden difficulty that you get struggle in your meditation, at that time you open this one and look this one. And he gives all the instruction at that time how to fix the problem at that time, that problem. So that is the Guru's, like Kenji was saying yesterday, both have responsibilities. That is how Marba took responsibility, not just only give his teaching, even in the future, what's going to happen to him through the meditation and give the instruction to how to fix that problem. So that way, if you look at the Milarepa's image, always you see the hanging one paper roll above. That paper roll is given by the Marba. Because in the later, when you meditate, some struggle will come. At that time, Milarepa said, read this one. So then Milarepa came home and he saw all his mother died. His mother's dead body, kind of skull bone is there. And the neighbor people, no one can go to her house because everybody think they are hunted by the, black magic. Then his sister ran away because she couldn't handle. So when he got home and she her dead body there, then she did those tata and give the offering to the one his friend to the text and everything, and he went to retreat. So from there to start, so first he went to retreat near his hometown. Okay, then he wanted to leave, but then slowly he had some kind of like a feeling of he should stay there. Then he met his sister actually. So one day, how he met his sister was she was begging on the street. Then some hunter singing a song. Then when this hunter singing a song, and she said, this song someone sing by some kind of truly Buddha one. And those hunters said, oh, you think he's a Buddha, but this is your brother who's miserable, almost dying on the mountain. Looks so, skelter and miserably living. And she said, don't tease on me. I'm beggar. I don't have my brother. She doesn't know he back, Milarepa back. Then they said, no, we're not teasing on you. We met him. He's saying this to us. So when she went first time, and he went to pick up the water from the well, or pick up the water, and he had only a small cloth kind of covered with private. That one also put blow away by wind. So when she comes and he was naked totally, then she was kind of shy but sad, and she said, look at us. I thought you are a little bit better than me. I'm begging and you are miserable like this. And she was crying and saying mother and father's name. She said, so, sad, really sad. She was kind of totally, what call some people? No, kind of.
Depressed.
No, I mean, just conscienceless. Pass out. Yeah, she fainted because of the soul sadness. So Milarepa tried to wake up her with the waters blending, and he was trying to make her happy, singing Vajra Song and saying how wonderful I am, this and that. She doesn't believe any of those. She said, no. But she said, and you talk so kind of highly yourself, this and that, but just stay somewhere near, that way I can see you. I can come to bring you some food and whatever I can find. So that is how but then he left again. Then he went to different place on the mountain, and that mountain retreat, he stayed 9 years, only eating. Earlier he had some food left over from his sister and other people gave him, but then all those ran out. Then he saw that mountain and he stayed there 9 years meditating, only relying on the nettle. So when he ate only nettle, and so some hunter came, said, today we didn't manage to hunting, please share some food to us, and tomorrow when we manage we will return you. And Milarepa said, yeah, sure. I give you the nettle soup. And that nettle soup, then they say, oh, that's good. So where's the salt for the nettle soup? Milarepa said, if there's a salt, that'd be wonderful, but I haven't had salt many years. Just put nettle. So they said, oh, they have some, flavor with the flowers. And she said, yeah, that's a wonderful, but I haven't had many years. Just add some nettle. So like meat is a nettle, salt is a nettle, flour is a nettle. That's how make the nettle soup. Basically, it's a nettle and water. Just boil and drink that one. That way his skin even become nettle colors, green color. And he was so weak. So, I mean, then people came hunter later. They thought he was a ghost. And they pick up him, throw in the from the mountain, he came back. And they tried to burn him, he came back. Nothing couldn't do. So then that's how 9 years without any human contact, he stayed without any human being food. So then his sister found him, bring some food, really good. And also his kind of arranged marriage that, the lady called Zese, also she found him. And they bring him some nutrition food. And when he had those nutrition food, then he finally experienced a great realization. Because of the 9 years of meditation, nothing progressed his meditation. But then finally he got the nutrition food and his, realization and experiments greatly improvement come. So that time he said, that is really true. The person who meditated on the mountain and person who arranging to the food and clothes, they are become enlightened together. Because even Milarepa, if he not receive those nutrition on his physical body support to become, strong enough, he not have any of those realization. I mean, same as a Buddha, So that is showing us in the meditation, need a body and a mind together. Body alone cannot meditate, mind alone cannot meditate. Longest this mind with the body is healthy, body's strength, and body's support is a necessity. So that reason, lots of time you can see this one in the meditation said, essential point of the body and essential point of the mind. Make sense? So I think those need together. Otherwise, I mean, why you cannot meditate when you're sleeping? Why you cannot meditate on the lay down? Why you cannot meditate on the when you're relaxing with the kind of lazy couch? Because it doesn't work that way. Because your physical body is not a right position posture. So if your physical body is not right posture or not healthy enough or not have strength, then your mind cannot work that function. So that reason, even Milarepa 9 years meditation is not have that much progressive asa, until he received those humanly nutrition food. So this is how, and slowly then. And after that, then people talking about the Milarepa, then he moved to a different town and a hunter, and they come and they saw him, they singing to him, they talking to, then he give them Dharma teaching and they really amaze him. Then they go to in the town, they talk about the people, there's one great practitioner called the Milarepa. Then he ran away from there. So basically, he always ran away from the publicity. He always ran away from the human, contact. Why he did was because when he was leaving from the Marba said to him, rest of your life, remain on the mountain. He said, by staying on the mountain is repaying your parents' kindness. That is the repaying your guru's kindness. That is the benefit of sentient beings. And that is the benefit of the Buddha Dharma. That's true later. At that time, people may think, oh, that's not really, So because of the Milarepa, rest of his life hiding on the mountain, now everybody like Milarepa. Even the Chinese communists, I heard they said, if Dharma practitioner must be like Milarepa. So that is it. So from that, this story, one of his story is the meeting with the Paldarbum. That is how, because he traveled in town to town. When he was traveling town to town, he also meet with the people, and he begged sometime on the way, beg on the food, and the beg on the food, and he sing them the Vajra Song. He give them teachings, and the people give him food and whatever they can offering. So that's how. So this is how what happened. So there's this meeting with the Paldarbum. Okay, that's I think showed Milarepa's life story. So he said, Namo Guru. Namo means the pay homage, prostration to his guru. Who's his guru? I mean, he have many gurus, but his main principal guru is the Marba. Okay, so So when the prostration with a vivid faith, eager faith, and trusting faith, and body, speech, mind, paying respect, pay homage. That's called the prostration, or relative prostration, relatively. Ultimately, when you see the self, self, self-awareness, yeah? When you see the self-awareness, that is the ultimate prostration. So can say both relatively, physically pay homage. So here, because sometimes, prostration, there have lots of different commentaries. Like if you look at Jagasambhara Tantra, Cha ni nimi ishilas instead, Cha, as a non-dual wisdom. So with the meaning of the cha is a prostration as a non-dual wisdom. The ultimately realization of the non-dual wisdom is the prostration. But here, that is not the main point. Here's the main point is doing the body, speech, mind to pay homage, pay respect to that guru. Reason is every time there's a past master, when they sing the Vajra song, they always pay homage to the guru. That is showing us their appreciation to the guru. Because without the guru's instruction, they are not capable to gain that wisdom. They are not capable to gain that knowledge. So that way, they always remember the kindness of the guru. So that reason, every day Vajra song, a lot of them Vajra song, you can see the pay homage to the guru. Like this is Jidasumgan's Vajra song. If you look the Jidasumgan Vajra song, this is like yesterday, Kenji Rinpoche giving teaching on the Five-Fold Path Mahamudra. In the Five-Fold Path Mahamudra, it said, bow to the feet of the glorious Pamudruba. He's pay homage to his guru Pamudruba. So, and the Pamudruba is a lot of Vajra song have a pay homage to his guru, what called? Kaboba. So that is showing us their, paying respect or pay homage to the guru as a appreciation of the guru's kindness, compassion, wisdom. That is why we are we get chance to learn Dharma, we get chance to practice Dharma, gain the wisdom from that. So that way, Namo Gurus. Then there's a Jizu Milarepa intend to go to the Jangtango snow mountain. So this is like a kind of like, it's a Himalaya region, basically Himalaya regions. And he was traveling to the Jangtango snow mountain to meditate. He left in the autumn, like a kind of like a fall time. And on his way, he come up to the village, Gebal Hasum in the Chung. This is also some in the West Tibet, or most of Milarepa's later life is a West Tibet, Western Tibet. Chung, when he arrived there, all the villagers were working on the reaps, like cutting the harvesting, harvest. In the particular, in the large field, there was a girl of about 15 years age who had a sign of wisdom Dakini and was leading large group of people in the harvest. So this is a sign of wisdom Dakini. Dakini, basically, when we talk about the Dakini, there's two types of Dakinis. Like Indian culture, Dakini mean is not nice. Like, have you seen Bodhisattva conduct? They said there's the dedication prayer. I think the part of the dedication prayer said flesh eater and Dakini also have a compassion. Now you read back, you will see this one. Flesh eater and a Dagini. Shasa means the flesh eater. Because in Indian culture, that the Dagini, the place, the town, the Dagini mean the woman who eat the human flesh. The normal people dare to go that town. Scary. That is also called the Dagini. So Daginis are not, every Dagini doesn't mean always a nice one. Okay, there's one. And according to the Vajrayana, there's 3 types of Daginis. One is called the Hengik, it means the co-emerged Daginis. Co-emerged Dagini mean someone who already realized that Buddhahood, like a Vajrayogini, like a Achichujitama, like a Tara, those called the co-emerged Dagini, because already reached to the Buddhahood. Then some other one is said born from the champ, I think CHARM, mantra, born from the mantra. So born from the mantra, Dagini of the born from the, I think cham. Sometimes the dictionary they use as a cham, CHARM or CHAM. Charm, yeah, mantra. I think that's also translated as a mantra. So this is talking about the Dagini born from the mantra, which means the Dharma practitioner, someone who have a great experience of the realization through the generation stage and the completion stage. Those Dakinis, like lots of great practitioners like Ishisoye, Mandarawa, and also many female great practitioners. Those can call the born from the what called charms. Okay, Dagini who born from the charm mean the practitioner, and Dagini born from the field. Like they have a sign of a Dagini. This I think, because of that, women's color, because of women's smell, different type of smell. There's many different sign they can tell which family belong. So there's like a for in Latin activities, and that way also they divide it into the Dagini, also different type. There's one Dubabema Gabos, he's one teaching, they explaining that what is the Dagini's sign means. So I don't know exactly what is the Dagini sign, but in the Vajrayana and the high yoga tantric practitioner, when they take a consult, they have to know that the consult have to have a particular Dagini sign. Then you have to know that sign. So Milarepa know those signs. Okay, he can tell by look, by color, by behaviors, and from that to what kind of Dagini is this one. So that is what he saw. She was a what called the wisdom Daginis. Karma Dagini, wisdom Dagini. There's many different Daginis. So she was a wisdom Daginis. Milarepa saw. So this is I think high yoga tantric, like a Hevajar, Chakrasambhavara, some of those they mention what is look like the Dagini's sign. They have a different sign. I'm not sure, because these days people think that Dagini mean the beautiful looking one. Make sense? I'm not sure all the beautiful are Dagini. If all the beautiful are Dagini, then those Mara's daughter who performing around the Buddha, they should be Dagini because they were really beautiful. Make sense? So I don't know. Only beauty as a sign of a Dagini, I don't think so. There's a certain sign, but I don't remember exactly how and it's not necessary to describe what is the sign of it, because then when we describe, because of our human logic, we try to use then discriminating, oh, this is a Dagini, this is not Dagini, that's not healthy, this is not good. So we don't need that too. And so that way you cannot say this is Dagini, this is not Dagini. Anyone who practice even you don't have a sign. If you're really good practitioner of the Tantra Vajrayana, it's called the Dagini born from the charm. You are the Dagini born from the charm. And when you reach to the Buddhahood, then you are Dagini born from the co-emerge. Make sense? So even you don't have a sign, you are ultimately Dakini. This sign is talking about the non-practitioner, ordinary people, a kind of human form, but suddenly have this different sign. They can tell this is a, kind of like a Dakini sign on that particular individual. So here, Milarepa saw her wisdom Dakini sign. So that is what mean the wisdom Dakinius, sign of wisdom Dakinius, was leading a large group of people in the harvest. Milarepa went over to them and said, benefactors, this is always used, the Tibetan called the jinda, meaning benefactor mean the sponsor, basically if anybody have the wealth, we use as a jinda, as a mean the kind of like a sponsor. I am a yogi and I am seeking some provision. The girl said, Yogi, go to the door of my house over there. She showed the big house. I will come and meet you. And she said, I will come, because I think on the field, there's nothing, she have nothing to give to him. So she also kind of have a devotion, faith, and compassion, naturally. So that way she didn't chase him away, because Milarepa is not like a good looking, or Milarepa is not fancy looking. I mean, he's just really, really kind of a poor, kind of yogi practitioner, long hair, kind of messy one. So that way it's not like a, respectful. Normally people don't respect that kind of a stranger comes, but she was already have a compassion and devotion to it. And Jesus went to the door and the house of the, pushed open it and walked with stick. The door swung open and had entered after the woman, old woman wearing the ragged and then dirty clothes. This is a mistranslation. It's basically, I don't think so. She's wearing the dirty clothes and a kind of, she's grandma of the rich family. She wasn't wearing the dirty clothes. In the Tibetan word used as a gemo midubaje. Miduba means the kind of like ugly or unpleasant one. Someone who appearance as an unpleasant, angry way, unpleasant, and kind of like a wrathful, something like that. So this is a mistranslation. She's not look dirty. She's not poor. She is a grandma of a rich family. So I'm sure she's wearing the, nice clothes. She's, rich, but because of her anger, because of her behavior, and because of her age, and that way is called the unpleasant, or kind of like an ugly one. Basically using, because of that, especially if you read the lesson, and you can say old woman or ugly one, come out and within the house carrying the fistful of ash in her hand. I think one hand is carrying the ash, one hand is carrying the stick, coming toward to the Milarepa. You beggar, she said, yogi, in the summer you come begging for butter and cheese, and the winter is the bear and grain. You never stay put. I will beat you. We're going to be try to steal my daughter and the daughter-in-law's jewelry and come over here when you thought there was no one home. Her body was quivering, kind of like shaking with a rage, and just as she was about to hurl the ash and the Milarepa, and Jesus said, so that's her behavior. carrying the ash, carrying the stick, showing him anger, showing her, what called the shaking her body. All those total make her as a ugly, not because she's old, not because she's, so that make her a kind of unpleasant looking. Because when people are, no matter how beautiful you are, if you get angry, you are unpleasant looking. Nobody will be beautiful if you have this anger issue. I mean, that's, and even you are really ugly. If you're compassion, everybody likes you. You are most beautiful. Gajiramaji always said, makeup cannot make you beautiful. Be kind. That is make you beautiful. Even you put all the makeup and everything, people are not going to like you if you have this unpleasant behavior of the anger, hatred, jealousy, that way. So that based on that, Mitubas as an old lady, unpleasant looking. That make her unpleasant looking. So it's not translation misunderstood. This part is called the dirty cloth. I don't think so. She wearing the dirty cloth. Ragged means that kind of like a torn, cloth. So I don't think so. She's wearing the torn cloth. So this is basically talking about her bad behavior, angry, behavior. Based on that, she become an unpleasant looking old lady. Yeah. Because some old lady are really beautiful. And so she almost throwing the ash and stick with the Milarepa, and Milarepa said to her, Milarepa said, grandmother, it means that like Tibetan is the momo, it means that kind of old lady. We don't use as a directly old lady, so we use as a mola, or kind of, it's mean the grandma, you have time to throw the ash on me, but before that, before throw those ash at me. So I think this word is missing. You will have time. That one didn't translate. You will have time to throw ash before you throw those ash at me. Listen little on this song of the Milarepa. Then he sang this song to realization on 9 point for the grandmother. So when Milarepa sang this song, then she was really moved on that. So maybe we take short break, then we sing this song. I mean, we read the song. Now, Milarepa was showing her true reality, the old lady, because she was really kind of unpleasant toward to the Milarepa, because she thought Milarepa is a kind of like someone who going to come to steal their family wealth, because all the rest of family are outside of the house, only she is there. Then, so that way she's worrying about maybe Milarepa came, someone who just pretend like begging, but get chance and steal the things from the family. So that way she was also upset. Reason one is it. So then that said, Milarepa said to her, on above is the bliss, or on above the pleasure of the highest realm of the freedom. It's talking about the human and God realms. They have a more freedom, they can have a more freedom to choose their life, what they want to do, because they are more independent. They have a more freedom than to lower realms. Because we may not have a complete freedom, because we have to do lots of things that, because of the society, because of the many things. But same time, actually, we may choose what we really want to do, what is the right one want to do. It's sometimes because of the custom and because of the whatever easiest way we can try to figure out to don't do. But other than that, if you want to do practice, actually you have a fully freedom to practice Dharma. It's not really, especially like a United States, nobody going to say you're not allowed to practice Dharma certain hour, certain time, or this and that. Long as you're financially support, long as you're not really required on your something that like a job or something, then you actually can do whatever you want. If you put your heart there, and you can do long as you want. I think you have a freedom. This kind of freedom is actually not get easily to the many people. So this freedom is not cheap. You can say this freedom is not free. This freedom is a costly. Many good merit put many lifetime. That way you have this freedom. There's a result of the many lifetimes of good merit. We gain the freedom of being on the human, have all those conditions that can practice Dharma. So this kind of condition, freedom is not easily comes. Many things have to put together to gain this one. So we will talk about when Kali Lama at that time about the precious human body. We will talk about that one also a little bit more, why it's so precious and why it's really difficult to obtain that one. So right now we have lots of choice. Right now we have a great opportunity, and if we not utilize this one in the future, it's difficult to find. So the higher realm have that one. Okay, twos, that is two mean the number two. Below is a suffering of the three lower realms. It's like hungry ghosts, animal, and hell beings. They are totally controlled by the other. They don't have any kind of freedoms. Like lots of people believe their pet is their boss, but truth is their pet cannot do whatever they wish. Even you treat them really wonderfully, the only you make schedule for them, walking schedule, feeding schedule. They cannot go anywhere they want. They cannot do anything they want. You make them rule, regulation, so that way they don't have that much freedom as a you. If you really truly look, your freedom and your pet's freedom, totally different, So that way, lower realm is a suffering. Why? Because hell is totally suffering by the torture of the heat and cold, and the hungry ghost is suffering by the hunger and thirst. Animals is suffering by the stupidity. They don't have that intelligence to try to find how to escape from lots of dangers. Make sense? Even the dangers are coming, they don't know the dangers coming. And even they know, they don't have a plan to, skill to escape from that. And particularly animals are suffering by not knowing of what is good, what is bad. Tibetan many master said, if you said to the animal, ear said, okay, you just say one omane peme ho, I will give you this much gold. They even cannot say that one. Repeat. So this reason animal are suffering by the stupidity of the ignorance. So those three sufferings, and three, the between those without the control over their, I think birth. This is not breach. Birth. So, and this is, you can say, like human beings, we don't have control of our birth. We have no control of a birth, mean that we don't have a choice of where you want to born. Karmic wind will take you where you want to born. Make sense? So it's called the karmic wind. It's our consciousness is like petal. Whatever wind come blow that direction. So karmic wind will blow that direction of your karma to bring to the birth. So that way we have no control. So where we're going to born, same time, how long you're going to stay, and when you're going to die, we have no control. So we don't have that freedom. So without the control over the birth, When these three things convince or come upon you, come to you, Grandma, you are cruel and deadest of the Dharma, resentment. It means that when these things come, then you deadest, I think talking about the like a kind of a resentment. Take care of yourself and look at your mind. So this is basically Milarepa saying is concentrate on yourself, take care of yourself and watch your own mind. Because that is only benefit for you. If you do something, practice the supreme Dharma. If you follow follow to the qualified guru. When so this is so Milarepa giving to her, that's the best way. What you can do best for you is that if you have chance, practice Dharma. Because when we practice Dharma, that's what we can take. That is our wealth when we're dying. Only that one we can take. No matter how much you take care of your body, when time of death is come, no matter how healthy you try to keep, because some people spend so much money and time to try to keep the body healthy. I'm not saying keeping healthy is not good, but that's not only your goal. Make sense? You need a healthy body to practice Dharma, because it's like you make a really beautiful garden, really beautiful, take care and spend lots of time, lots of money, and you never enjoy. I mean, most of people, they do that one, rich people. They have a beautiful garden, beautiful house. They never see that. They never get chance to enjoy. I saw some people have a beautiful lawn. Only they enjoy is when they mowing the lawn. Other than that, I never seen them enjoying on the backyard. We don't see the people like kind of relaxing there. So there's nobody enjoying because there's so many things to do. So we have no really actually, when you look that way, then actually it's kind of like meaningless. Too much taking care. I'm not saying don't take care of your health. I think you need health good, but you have to utilize. If you have not good, you cannot practice the Dharma if you have not good health. So it's health, taking care of health is, I think, important. But when you have a health good, then use that one as a good way. Otherwise, like become a really, really fancy garden, have never chance to enjoy on the garden. I think some people spend so much money on the garden. I think they maybe once, twice a year, they really, truly enjoy on there, time to. So otherwise, no. So similarly, I mean, you spend lots of money and time to taking care of your body, taking care of your house, you're taking care of your freedom. But if you're not utilizing that one, then sooner or later it'll go. So that way, Milarepa saying is if you do something, is not Milarepa not saying is don't eat food, don't take care of your body, don't take care of your house, don't take care of your family. It's not talking about that way. But whenever you get chance to do something, do Dharma, because that is true. Wealth of you, true belong to you, truly doing you favorable to you. Actually, when you do favorable to your body, it's not really doing for you because it's a temporary. When you try to do favorable to your house and property and wealth and everything, it's not guaranteed that you're going to have a chance to use them. Make sense? Lots of people before the finishing the house, they died. They tried to build really beautiful house. And lots of people try to build a business before they kind of like a really success, and on the way of success, they died. So they work hard and never get chance to enjoy on that. So this one is a Milarepa what saying is when we have time, when we have an ability, when we have a chance, do the Dharma, because that is only doing the favorable to ourselves. Dharma is the only favorable to ourselves. Dharma is the only gift for ourselves, really giving. If you follow the supreme, follow the qualified guru. So here, talking about the qualified guru. What is the qualified guru? Who's the qualified guru? So each one have, Vinaya, they show their own qualities. A bit what called the Bodhicitta, they show their own qualities. And the Vajrayana, they have their own qualities. So each vehicle, they mention their own quality of the guru. So basically, qualified guru means like Gozamba Gobodoji said, qualified guru means someone who can tell you, come here. Yeah, come here means that person already gone through that path. That person already got other side and calling you to come here. Like that person already crossed the danger of the desert or whatever, then say, come this way, because it's already been there. So he said, don't follow to the guru telling you to go there. So I think, basically, like what called ornament of the Mahayana Sutra, Shenyen Dua Shiwa Nyershiwa, Yundel Habatsu Lungichu, the Rubdo Dollar Monkey, the Jongen Banks. So said discipline, peace, and very peace, which is talking about the discipline with the training of the morality, with the training of the morality. Peace means the training of the samadhi. Very peace means the training of the wisdom. Through the three training, they will train themselves. And have Yundel Labar Tsenje, mean the Yundel Habar, mean that have a more knowledge than you. Someone who have a better knowledge than you, and have a really great perseverance, and have a richness of the transmission. And have a realization of the suchness, have some degree of realization of the suchness, and have a skill to teach you. Because also some have a great realization, but they don't have a skill to how to explain, how to teach. So also have to have skill to teach, and mainly compassionate. So overall, I think can say, guru, qualified guru means someone have a wisdom of a knowledge and compassion of care. This true. Because sometimes they have a compassion, wisdom of knowledge, but they don't have a compassion of care. Then those teachers may misuse you. Make sense? Their own benefit. But some have a compassion, but they have no wisdom. Then even they care about you so much, but they cannot help you. So overall, I think those two are most important. Wisdom of knowledge and care of compassion. Somebody care about you, and somebody have a knowledge that can guide you. I think this is, I can say, qualified guru. It's a knowledge, there's a different, if you want to receive the Vinaya teaching, that person know about the Vinaya. If you want to receive the Bodhicitta, that person know about the Bodhicitta. If you not receive the Vajrayana teaching, that person know about the Vajrayana. That's called the knowledge or wisdom. But sometimes, some guru is maybe good on this, like Vinaya or something, but not good on Bodhicitta or Vajrayana. And some guru are really good on the Vinaya and the Vajrayana, but not necessarily they know the Vinaya, how to teach, and they're not capable to teach, or they're not allowed to do certain Vinaya ceremony. Make sense? So this is individual have their own, and some are really good on all those three. Can go through all those three. So this is a qualified mean that one. So qualified guru. Yeah. Okay. So Milarepa said to her, when you first were betrothed, it means that when you get married, yeah, in this family, did you think you would become this kind of a woman One is the morning you rest in early, first one, so who first wake up. And two, in the evening, you retire so late, like you rest last one. Three, your work doesn't ever cease. So these three is normally a housewife. This is talking about the basic housewife. It's like this, their lives. Morning, they are the first who wake up to start the fire, make it tea. So when our rest of family wake up, they have ready to tea and breakfast ready because they go to work. So that way you have to stay first one. Then the last of the end of the day, you go to the last one because all the cleaning and tomorrow morning's preparation, everything, and lots of people have to pack things for the kids. So it have to be last one. I mean, I think American housewife is also similar like that. First wake up, mom is always like that, and mom never get the holiday. Especially, I was always thinking, that's really sad that most of the moms, especially when the holiday like New Year and some special festival, they become more busier than normal days because there are more requirement of the food. Normally you don't have to cook that many food, but when holiday and festival, then they have to cook so much, and more guests comes. So actually, mom get more busier than regular days. So they never get actually holidays. And I mean, in this country, unless one day called the Mother's Day, you get break, And in Tibet, we never had that kind of break for the mom. Really. Every day is like work like that, Morning who wake up earliest is the mother. And the last in the evening, go to bed, rest is it latest, last one is the mother. And the daytime, they never cease, mean that you never your work so around the house, work never finish. When you done one, there's something else. When you done that one, there's something else. I think all the family, especially lots of family member kids, I think they have so much work. We don't have here that many family, only two of us live here. But when we try to do around the house, whole day, they're never ending. There always be something. When one thing is done, then there's something else come. And lots of people also come to help. Otherwise, if they not come to help, I think it's really difficult to finishing. So so this is a Dharma center, supposed to be not like that in the family house. Make sense? Still they have that many work to do. Then how many work to do for the family house? So that way, especially, so Milarepa was telling to her, have you ever thought you'd become like this when you got married here? I mean, nobody think that way, but then it's become. When these three things convince or come upon you, grandma, you are the miserable, unpaid slave. And not just only unpaid, and sometimes people, not really noticing they have their job. I heard sometimes saying, oh, you just stay home whole day and you can do these things. And then there's one day, wife went to out somewhere and she gave all the chore to the husband. He even couldn't finish the half of them. And she said, how so he realized he not just stay home. There's so many things have to do. So there's so many work, but no critic. Nobody noticing. Of course, forget about the paying. I have a friend, he pay his wife because he had a business, art business. He teach to the also others and he sell those art, and his wife cook and clean, and he pay for every month for some money to her. I mean, that's other than that, most of the family, wife never get any pay. Housewife, I don't think so. Yeah. So that way it's like really like slave. Take care of yourself and look at your mind. So Milarepa said, now you should take care of yourself because you have done so much, but then nobody appreciate on that. Actually, And also sometimes people think, like when parents do something for the kids, sometimes kids think that's their duty. They have to do. They never appreciate on that. That's I don't understand. Lots of kids have that kind of attitude. Like from the 1 to until 18, that's your duty to, you have to raise me, you have to pay me, you have to feed me. We need like a bear, after the 1 or 2 years, they push away. They know. I think 1 year or 2 years. Yeah, I heard something like that. Yeah. And so I'd lose your minds. If you do something, practice the sublime dharma. Here said the sublime dharma. Why is it called the sublime dharma? Because the dharma means all the phenomena, whatever we do, our responsibility to take care of family, all those are dharma. Here, sublime dharma, or sometimes called the sat dharma, sometimes called the holy dharma. But recently, some Theravada monk, they start making this word as a Buddha dharma. Because even the religion prospect, dharma is a common word from the Hindu and Buddhism. So that way they now start using Buddha dharma. In the Tibet called the Tabeche. Tabeche means the holy dharma or sublime dharma. Why is it called the holy or sublime dharma? This is taught by the sublime being. Yeah. And another one is anyone who practices this one can become a sublime. Sublime, yeah. Yeah. So that way called the sublime dharma. So through this is where it comes from. This is from the sublime. And what will become if you follow this one, you become a sublime. That way it's called the sublime dharma. And sometimes also called the Sada Dharma, Sada Dharma is because if you look at the Buddhist teachings, it never become old. It's always stay fresh. I mean, look, other religion, they have to patch lots of different, they need to explain, oh, this mean this mean that, it mean that way, Buddhism, you don't need to do any patch. Just say directly. That's the related to the everyday life, related to the reality. Always be fresh, never get old, never get unrelated. What called irrelevant? Yes, relevant. Always be relevant. Why? Because it's the truth. Truth cannot change anyone. No matter what happened, society, culture change, truth cannot change. So that way, it's always be sat. Sat means the truth. So always be relevant. So one of the Tibetan scholars said, if other religion walk with the signs, walk with the signs. Like for example, they only can take few steps. But Buddhism, if walk with the signs, not just walk, run ahead of the signs. Because scientists, how many years there's like continually, like 200 years, yeah? Western scientists started 200 years. Actually, Asian scientists started like 2,500, more than 2,500 years. Science actually started same time, around time when Buddha came. And the Hindu tradition, they say this is much earlier than that. Veda things like 5,000 years. So it's a start that long. But continually in the Western, it's like 200 years, I think. So no matter how advanced they gain, they never get closer to the Buddha's teachings. Yeah, physically, scientists only can get to the what called the partless particle. Yeah, but Buddha said there's more subtle than that, more subtle than partless particle. Yeah. That's physically, that with evidence. Then Buddha talk about the beyond that is called the mentally, mind. Something that cannot be measurement through the physically. But Buddha put the measurement on that. Buddha research on that. In the Buddhism, everybody research on that. That's called the Dharma practitioner. That's called the Vipassana. Vipassana is a scientist who research in their mind. Make sense? So that is still scientists not reach there. So that way, that make them holy Dharma or Sattva Dharma or sublime Dharma. Buddha's teaching is how advanced, how I think can say this is really old, but still so fresh. Really old. I mean, this is one of the oldest religion in the world, but really, really fresh. Before the Buddha, some religion came, they not stay fresh as are now with the scientists. After the Buddha, many religion came, they never stay fresh like Buddha's teachings when it comes to the scientists, modern age. But Buddha's teachings always be fresh. Why? Because it's truth. There's nothing else than truth. That is showing us how Buddha's wisdom, how great Buddha's wisdom. That way it's called the sublime Dharma. If you follow to something, follow to the qualified guru, then think, if you did that, would it be like this? If you did that earlier, can be your life this way. Your life should be different way. Something change, something better. Have a more. So basically, like she went through whole life, work hard, like what Milarepa expressed. End of the life, she become a grouchy, angry. Something like that. That means that whatever she did, it never created her happiness. Then nothing built her true happiness from that mundane what we're seeking. That way, lots of old people, they become really, really grouchy, really, really kind of like impatient, because they thought those all the material way to building life make them happy. But at the end of the life, they realizing none of them make happy. Now they get upset. They feel like they just waste everything. Now they become useless. I think that would make them really upset. So that way they couldn't do anything. That make them so kind of like a rauchy can say?
Bitter.
Yeah, bitter. I think become like that. So I think we all becoming like that. slow. One are the thieves who steal what you have. Two are the robber who steal with force. Three, you fight back without a concern for injury or death. When these three things convene upon you, Brahma, you burn with a rage when you meet the foe. So, I mean, especially in the Asian culture, this is when a woman get married to bride, yeah, come to the groom's house. So in the Tibetan, we said, Nama is a bride, yeah, the woman, a bride. In the Tibetan said, bride is a nice way to call the slave. Because I mean, she's just newly into the family, and there's a parent, grandparent, and everybody control. So basically, have no power over anything, and have to work whole day by following their instruction. So that way we said, bride is a nice word, nice name for the just slave. Actually, that's what it is, the culturally, many countries. But now it's a little bit changing because more people are kind of get both husband and wife have the income, so that way they financially independent, so they don't have to listen anyone. Yeah, so it's changing, but still, I mean, lots of culture way, Asian culture. I think Western culture is maybe similar like that all time. Yeah, all time. Not now, I mean, all time. Similar like that. So that way, and until the mother-in-law passed away, she have no power over the food even. Everything is come from the mother-in-law's hand. All the food, the storehouse, all the keys, everything is on the mother-in-law's hand. So that way, sometimes it's become like thief. So I'm noticing whenever I visit my cousin, she married to somebody's, and the mother is there. She's in charge. And my cousin said, when she come to home, she said, when I come home, I never feel hungry, but when I'm there, I feel always be hungry. Because when she come home, she knew she can eat whenever she want. So that way, she had no a worry about when I'm going to get the food. So she said, I don't feel any times, I don't feel like I need to eat or I'm hungry. I never feel hungry. But when she stay in her in-laws' house, I mean, that is her house now. She said, always feel hungry because they don't have a power to eat whenever they want to eat. That is a customly, I mean, this house. And some in-law are really good, They give earlier all the power to the daughter-in-law, but sometimes they never give. So that is what means that when you sometimes you have to steal things to eat, and sometimes you have to fight for that. That is the reality of the normal arranged marriage, the Asian culture, I think can say earlier culture. Now it's a little bit different. But when Milarepa was alive, pretty much everywhere it's similar like that. When these three things convene upon you, convene upon your grandma, you burn with a rage when you meet foe. Take care of yourself, look at your mind. If you do something, practice the sublime dharma. If you follow something, follow to the qualified guru. Then think, if you did that, would you be like this? So earlier, you're not choosing to the mundane life. If you choose to the sublime dharma or something, you don't have to go through this all hardship. I mean, so that is you have to go to emotionally go back to that like 800, 900 years ago, how people live according to that talking. Nowadays, the situation is different. You get more freedom, but your responsibility also increase. Now you are totally independent, including paying the bills. Make sense? At the end, you don't have a power to lots of things, but you don't have also responsibility of paying bill or lots of things also. Make sense? I mean, situation change. Now it's suffering is a different things, not same, but problems is still there same way. I mean, it's not same. Problem is there, not same way. So like most of people, when you stay under someone's order, or so you can say, then you have to follow all the instruction they give you, orders give you. But when you get your own, then you don't have to follow everything, but you become responsibility of everything. If you work in the restaurant, if you're waiter or cook something, just do your job and you're done. When you finish time, your working hour is over, you fully, physically, mentally, you can relax. You don't have to worry anything. But you are owner of the restaurant. You never get chance to relax by the mentally. Always be worrying about how to run the business, how to improve the business, So your work is too much. Some people told me first they try to run the business, but they're too much, their work is so much, couldn't handle. So they have to sell the business and start working to someone else. So but that is easier. So that way you get freedom, but same time freedom means the responsibility. So that way these days marriage and everything is not same condition or situation as like 1,000 years ago, 500-600 years ago. But the problem is it's still there, different kind of problem, different kind of what call that? Issue, stress, yeah, that's still there. So we're not free from that, all those. Even you gain the what called the independent. So that way it's not like a because sometimes people may think, oh, those ancient times, those people live that kind of miserable. Now look, we don't have that one. Actually, now more people stress. At that time, there's not that many psychiatric, that many those medications. People survive. Now you need more and more medicines, more and more psychiatrics, more and more emotional support. Otherwise, there are so many suicides. Make sense? So our stress level is increased so much. Every time it's getting bigger stress level. That reason, if you look at reason, because of our stress level and all the condition is getting worse. That way, people's relationship is actually getting worse. Husband-wife's relationship, brother-sister relationship, parent-children's relationship is not that close as before. Even we have all the wealth and everything is much better than before, but our emotion state is getting worse. Why? Because their stress is more now. Make sense? That's I think so. So that way we not become a better actually. Materially looks better, looks, so we artificially looks better, but actually reality is I don't think so. It's look better. So okay, one, your nose is into the what people's daughter are doing. So this is, I think, a little bit mistranslation. This is saying is being polite or hypocritical respect. When now your son got married, you have a new daughter-in-law. Now you have to show the hypocritical respect. Like pretend, nice, and those you have to show that face. Make sense? Yeah. So I think that is Shroga, but this is translation misunderstood. It's now into the what people's daughters are doing. This is when others' daughter get married to your son, you become a daughter-in-law. Now daughter-in-law's new member, you cannot treat as your own children. You need a little bit like a pretending kind of naive, nice, hypocritical respect. Show a little bit at the beginning, maybe. 2, your own son is an unpleasant word and insult. So here said affairs is not correct. Now because your son also listening to his wife, Then sometimes because of the taking the side of the wife, then they try say lots of unpleasant things to the parent. This is happening in India lots of time now. When parents are getting old, then because the wife doesn't like the parent, they kick out. There's one orphanage actually running by some, there's one near the Dehradun. Many old people, just because they kick out from the family, and those orphanages keep there. Because now like Westerners, one thing is they're financially independent, so that way they work. And even the children say we don't want, it's okay. You can live your own life with money. But in Asia, there's nothing called independently financial. All the family belonging. So when son or daughter, whoever took over the financial, and the parent have no access unless they give you. So when they kick you out, you are empty-handed out of the house. It happened honestly. So that way, even that does not happen, but you have to listen now, insulting to the your son, say kind of insulted word to you because of the circumstance. That is talk about the middle, your own son, the unpleasant or word or insulted. This is a translation. 3, you gossip with all your grandkids. This is not gossip. Also, this is mistranslation. 3, you have to, now there's so much noisy with the kids. You don't have any more peace. The kids make noisy. They wake up early, crying, and those all noisy at the house. There's no really peace. Something like that. This, I think, mistranslation. Cholo means that it's like a grandson and a granddaughter, so noisy. They make many noises. Chattering or bubbling, BABBLING. What is the babbling?
A babbling brook, it just kind of endless sound.
Yeah.
Mindless chatter.
These days, most of our Western grandparents are really good. When they are bored, they bring the grandkids, they play with them. When they get bored, said, go back to your parents. Asian grandparents have no chance. They are there for 24 hours, 70 weeks, So then some point they get really, really annoying, but they cannot do anything. So these 3 is talking about. Once your kid grow up, they get married. Then you have a daughter-in-law. Then you have to pretend in front of them nice. Then your son sometimes get mad, insult you, and your grandchildren make noisy around the house. So that is your life turned into that way. When these 3 things convenient upon you, grandma, you have got your finger in everywhere. So basically saying, what it's actually this not finger on everywhere. This is mistranslation. Say you become like be patient, unwillingly have to be patient. Take all those headache. This is like without a choice, you have to become a patient. Patient? Yeah. So take care of yourself and look up to your mind. If you do something, practice the Supreme Dharma. If you follow someone, follow to the qualified guru. If you did that, would it be like this? Then you don't have to go through this all troublesome. When you get up, it's like the extracting stick or pulling for the tethering. That pulling out. 2, when you walk around and wording goes, ambush. Ambush. Like ambush for the bird.
Modeling
Hiding
ambush.
from the bird. No. I think ambush. for the bird. Like a chala joba. I mean, some people, when they see the bird, they don't want to, they try to, to hidingly, just gently, go to hidingly. Yeah, they try to catch. Yeah. Ambush. Yeah, I think ambush. 3, when you sit, it's like the rock hitting the ground. When these 3 things convenient of you, grandma, you are depressed with the old spent body. It means that your body is kind of weak. So this, like when you wake, stand up, now you have to use all the 4 legs, before you don't need to touch hand anywhere, just stood up. But now, and even those 4, every 4, but still some of us have a hard time to, they're walking also kind of like go around, go like ambushing the bird, and sitting is like rock throw down. Grandma, you are the depressed with the old spinning body. Take care of yourself at the loop of your mind. If you do the something practice, a supreme dharma. If you follow the something, follow your qualified guru. If you did that, then this would not be like this. So, this is like when you're getting older, then things change life like that. 1, outside your skin is all wrinkle. 2, inside your flesh and blood are used up. You are bag and bone is a kind of. 3, between your blind, deaf, dumb, and senile. When these 3 things convenient upon you, grandma, you are the scolding, hideous things, kind of like unpleasant, ugly. Take care of yourself and look at your mind. So this one is it sounds unpleasant, sounds insulting to old people, but reality is everyone trained that way. But also another way, I think this, sometimes we talk lots of this, the old, but I think only lucky one get chance to become like that. Like a Western culture. When you turn, your hair is gray, people put color and try to hide that one. But in Tibetan culture, when your hair is turned to gray, and old time, now it's do the same things with the Westerner. And they show the way, they show the sign of a daily full life. When the people said, oh, they died with black hair, it means they die young age. Yeah, Tibetan, when somebody said, oh, they died with the black hair. Because that time also there's no color. So whatever color nature, it's showed that way, But now everybody can make whatever they want to color, yellow, red, green. So that way, in my perspective, when people get that kind of age, I think that's they live full life. So they get full time to they die with a gray hair as a sign of they live a really fully life. So even one way you can see, but societally, when people turn that kind of thing, people kind of like annoying, look down. Then you don't have that much like a movies. The acting skill is not gone when they, because your appearance is not same as before. So that way you get less job. Make sense? So because people judge by appearance. So that way when you're young, looking glamorous, and everybody loves you. So in Tibetan, we said, pony, puppy, and baby have done nothing, but everybody loves. Old dog, old horse, old people, they have done so much, but nobody cares. We said that one. So that when people look down on that because of their appearance, So at that time, that is when it happened too. So then you said hideous things. Take care of yourself. So that way, how do you take care of yourself? Is it just watch your mind? I think also in the people when get that age, actually this kind of age, people who that circumstance, when you get that kind of circumstance, if you have a dharma earlier in your life, you know how to handle that without hurting your emotion. When you're losing your ability of driving, you don't worry about that. When you're losing your ability of lots of things, you not become emotionally sad because you can apply dharma. That time you can be really relaxed. But the people who have no dharma, and when they become this kind of this kind of condition, and they become so sad, they want to do all those things that when they're young, but they couldn't do, and they don't know how to handle this new new condition environment. And so then it's a really difficult. I think that way, I think with the dharma, at the earlier when you're young, maybe you're not going to see that much different. When you're getting older, then I can see the people who have a dharma, they live a much happier life. But who they never had a dharma and the earlier, then when they getting in that kind of circumstance, and they become a really difficult. I think a handle is, I think, a little bit different. Because if there's a way to you can escape this whole environment, then you just find that way. But there is no one can escape that one. It's a reality, part of the reality. All this, whatever Milarepa mentioned to the old lady, that's the reality. But how do you handle that is different. So I think with the dharma is much easier to handle. So that way, watch your mind, not watch your body, watch your condition. Just watch your mind. When you watch your mind, then you'll find how to make your mind peace, relax, acceptable, and forgiveness, and all those. You can train yourself. Then you can find the true peace from there. Because nobody can make us peace unless we're willing to work on that, our own mind. Make sense? So when your food and drink are spoiled and cold, 2, your clothes are rag and heavy, 3, your bed is made of the 4 joint head. And then these things have convenient upon you, grandma, your understanding you are half human and half dog. Take care of yourself and look at your mind. If you do something, practice the supreme dharma. If you follow into the qualified guru, nothing will it be like this. If you did that one, not now things will be like this. So liberation and a higher realm are the ready to be daytime stars. Samsara and the lower realm are the more common than the your ache and pain. At this dreadful time, when your material body and mind will soon separate, grandma, you are full of regret, without any confidence in the death. Take care of yourself. So, so this is what means that higher realm is a daytime of the star. Mean that reborn in the higher is not easy. Why? Need great merit. Without a good merit, cause of a reborn in the higher realm is a good merit. Without a good merit, cannot born in the higher realm. That way, and when we look at people's life, how much we do the merit and how much we do the negative. Even Dharma practitioner, there are lots of time we have chance to do negative, easy to do negative. But when we try to do the positive, meritary, and ethical, it's hard, difficult. Lots of obstacles comes. So the reason is because of that way, is a reborn in the higher realm is ready. Make sense? And samsara in low realm is more convenient than the echo and pain. This means that when you look the lower realm, and the number is much more And like in the Ngondo, for training the mind instruction, they always said like when you numberly compare with the animal and human being, it's like a human number is like daytime star. Daytime, there's only few can see, few of them. But nighttime stars, there's countless of them. So comparing the number of human to the animal is a daytime star and nighttime stars. That is obviously we can see. Forget about the hungry ghost and hell realm, we cannot see. But animal we can see. Then what we see in the animal every day is not a majority. Majority live in the ocean. Yeah, so around us, how many animals there? In front of this house, there's like thousands of them. So that is what we can see. Then each human being, we have a bacteria, like more than 21,000 bacteria, living beings in the human body, each human being. So forget not, those are not count as a lies or things that extra come, that takes extra come. Those are not count. Inside the body, more than 21,000 bacteria. Those are beings. So when we compare to those, then how many sentient beings there? And so that way, as so many, at the dreadful time when your material body and mind will soon separate, because sooner or later these two will be separate. These two never go to forever. So lots of people worrying about the death. Actually, there's no such things called the death, because English word death means the end. Yeah, dead end. There are no such things as end. Your life journey is a continuing. Only different is separating from this body. Now we don't have a guarantee of next body, it will be better one or a worse one. So according to what you have done this life, you will get that one. If you have done more good things, you have a better body next life. If you've done lots of bad things, you may have a worse body next life. This life's body is a result from the past life. Maybe some part is from the parents' genes, maybe some percentage, but a lot of them are actually we got from the past lives, our karma. Yeah. So next life, whatever we're going to get is it from this life's action, and we get that one. So that way, when this separation comes, the worrying is because we don't know what kind of body we're going to get. And we think all those things belong to us. It's not really belong to you, because you have to separate everything. Even you cannot take one needle with you. When that separation comes, totally separate everything. Make sense? So that means that they will separate. Grandma, you full regret without any confidence in the death. So then fully regret means now nothing to take. There's nothing help. When that time is come. So that time will come everyone. So that way in the Dharma, Buddha always said, you prepare for that when it comes, what you're going to take. That is your wealth. So just do much as we can. We don't have to be great, like even you cannot do the retreat for rest of life. It's okay. Even you cannot do the whole day practice. It's okay. Even you cannot do the everyday practice. It's okay. As long as you do, whenever you get chance, do something good. Take the advantage of the time, freedom, ability. Make sense? I think that is more important than sometimes, because sometimes people do the certain things with then said, oh, I do this every day. Then become like more like pride, more like a, a negative emotion from there. I have done 3-year retreat. I have done this. I got Cambodia degree. I had this title, and it's actually become a negative emotion from there. That's created. So truly, pure Dharma practitioner, they run away from the titles. They run away from the positions. In the Dagung, one time that Tibetan mean the head of the retreat master, that the retreat master in the past way. I think no Rinpoche, he was passed away. And then there's a 3 retreaters. All are really equally good. So monastery is talking about the one of those three appointed as a head of the retreat master, appointed on the throne holder of the retreat master. So, nowadays, what do we do? People try to find their way to, ask holiness to please make me that one. What called recommendation? Yeah. What they did, one runway. He managed to run away. Totally run away. I forgot his name. And one, he pretend like he's crazy, so called Rinpoche. Yeah, he was a really historical great yogi. He pretend like he's crazy. He act like crazy. And then Chugyo Rinpoche, he was running away. The monastery managed to catch him and make him the throne holder of the retreat master. Yeah, so that is a true Dharma practitioner are like that. And there's the Kadamba, one monk coming to receive sudden teaching from there's one master, okay? So he was traveling from that time there's no telephone or anything. So he was traveling from the far way to get teaching from this master. And when he get closer to the temple, then somebody said, oh, this master passed away. Now his main 2 disciples fighting to who's become the throne holder. Then this thought, oh, they're fighting for the throne. That means that they don't have these teachings. Actually, what they're fighting is it's saying, one saying, no, you become a friend. Other one said, no, you become. Yeah. That way. So truly Dharma practitioner, they don't seeking that title, name, position, certificate. We don't have a certificate. Now everybody needs certificate. Even they done for the 3 days retreat, they want a certificate.
Does this relate to how you were talking about the other day? It's hard to be a good bodhisattva and director of a center at the same time. You got to focus on one. Yeah,
that's a little bit different, but yes, something like similar there. So not great bodhisattva, good practitioner. Yeah. So that way, so this is, I think, mainly we should focus on the Dharma mean. Just to, I think, I know I met, and also there's many truly sincere, devoted practitioner. They never receive any titles. They never want any titles. They never fight for any titles. In the Samye, there's one monk. Even our Rinpoche always said he is truly Bodhisattva. He's every day running here there to help him to anyone come to visitors in the temple. So his clothes become totally butter because he's taking temple to temple, all those visitors, and then he tried to take, so all the butter and everything get his clothes. His clothes is totally like a butter cover, all the monk robes. So that kind of, great practitioners. If you take yourself, look at your mind. If you do something, practice and sublime Dharma, if you follow this. Because of the children's compassion and his melodious song, old woman helplessly gave rest to faith, and the ash in her hand fall through her finger. She felt regret about all her previous action, and as the old woman wept, and a girl who had been out in the field and had showing the Jizun her doorway enter. The girl said, so now old woman is crying because Jizun show her all the her from the her young to the until now, how went wrong. All those, reality. And she couldn't stop the tear. At that time, that girl came back. The girl who earlier met Milarepa and came back, girl said, Yogi, did you, Dharma practitioner, stick this old lady? What reason did you have for doing that? Then so like why you scold her? Why you make her cry? So she thought like Jesus scold her or Jesus said bad things to her, make her cry, like so. Then the old lady said, old woman said, daughter, don't attack him. He wasn't rebuking me in any way. It was I who want to attack him. In the return, he gave me the Dharma teaching and what he described. There was not a single thing that had not be following me. Befalling me, not happen to me, yeah, to me. I feel shame and despair. Then having such a deep regret at not being able to practice Dharma, I broke out in the tear. But you are not like me. You are young, wealthy, and have faith. This guru here is the one called the Milarepa. Offer him respect and serve and requires Dharma and obey instruction. So that is she, old lady, advice to her. I think this may be her grandchildren or something that she's, I think that belong to the same family. Okay. We'll stop here today.